For years, families believed their loved ones died peacefully. Natural causes, old age, nothing suspicious. But the truth was far darker, because the man signing their death certificates was secretly killing them himself. He was a doctor, trusted, respected. People welcomed him into their homes, believing he was there to save lives. But behind the calm voice and white coat was one of the deadliest serial killers in history. And for years, no one suspected a thing. In the quiet town of Hyde, Harold Shipman worked as a local family doctor. To many people, he seemed ordinary, reliable, dedicated to his patients, the kind of doctor families trusted for years. He spoke calmly, worked long hours, and built a strong reputation in the community. But behind that image, a terrifying secret was slowly growing. Harold Shipman had always been intelligent, focused, disciplined. As a young man, he studied medicine and eventually became a doctor. People around him believed he had a bright future. But some investigators later looked back at his past and noticed disturbing signs. When Shipman was younger, his mother became seriously ill. He watched doctors treat her with powerful medications during her final days. Many believe that experience deeply affected him, possibly shaping the dark obsession with control that would later emerge. Shipman eventually opened his own medical practice. Patients trusted him completely. He often visited elderly patients at home, especially women living alone. That trust gave him access, privacy, and control. No one imagined the danger that existed behind those routine visits. Over time, more patients began dying unexpectedly, most of them elderly women. At first, no one questioned it. After all, elderly people pass away, and Shipman was the doctor signing the death certificates. If he said the deaths were natural, people believed him. Authorities would later discover that Shipman used lethal doses of medication, usually administered quietly during private visits. The victims often appeared to die peacefully, no signs of struggle, no obvious evidence, which made the crimes extremely difficult to detect. Afterward, Shipman would calmly continue his day, meeting other patients, speaking with families, acting as though nothing had happened. What made the case especially horrifying was how much people trusted him. Families thanked him for caring for their loved ones. Patients recommended him to others. Some even described him as compassionate. No one could imagine that the man trusted to save lives could secretly be ending them. But eventually, certain deaths began raising concerns. Some families noticed strange details, healthy relatives dying suddenly, medical explanations that didn't fully make sense. Then funeral directors and local officials started noticing something disturbing, an unusually high number of deaths connected to the same doctor. One case changed everything. A woman named Kathleen Grundy was found dead. Shipman claims she had died naturally, but shortly after her death, a will appeared, supposedly leaving large amounts of money to Shipman himself. The family became suspicious, and investigators stepped in. When police began looking deeper, the truth slowly started unfolding. Medical records had been altered. Information changed after patients died. Investigators ordered exhumations. Bodies were examined, and patterns became impossible to ignore. Again and again, the same story appeared. Elderly women, unexpected deaths. Shipman presents shortly before they died. Experts eventually concluded that this wasn't coincidence. It was murder, and the number of victims was terrifying. In 1998, Harold Shipman was arrested. The trusted doctor was now at the center of one of the biggest murder investigations in British history. The trial shocked the nation. Evidence showed forged documents, manipulated medical records, suspicious prescriptions. Families who once trusted Shipman completely now realize they may never have truly known him. Investigators eventually concluded that Shipman may have killed over 200 people, possibly even more, making him one of the deadliest serial killers ever recorded. A man who spent years hiding in plain sight, protected by trust. A doctor meant to heal, a community deceived for decades, and hundreds of lives lost before the truth was finally uncovered. Because sometimes, the most dangerous people don't hide in darkness. They hide behind respect, behind routine, behind trust.